Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to VBA for everyone. Let's recap what we discussed in the last video. In the last video, we talked about how to make logical decision making in VBA, and that was done with the help of if function. We looked at the simple if command, if logical test, then do this. In the second step, we expanded that command and we used multiple commands after then. If logical test, then do these 1 2 3 4, and then we ended our if with and if. So with the use of multiple commands, after once you have passed your logical test, you have to use and if logical test, then do these and if. And in the third step, we looked at if logical test, then do these, else do these and if. So this was the syntax of if and logical test we performed. And at the end, I gave you an assignment. The requirement was to change background of cells based on the values in the cell, just like we do in conditional formatting. So if the value is 1 to 10, the cell should be blue, 11 to 20 it should be green, 21 to 30 it should be yellow, and 31 to 90 it should be red. So let's open our workbook. Open Sesame. Here it is it? So here is our workbook. What we need to do is we need to create a macro. Let's go to developer, Visual Basic, and let's clear this module out. Here it is. Okay, so let's start creating our macro or procedure or subroutine. Let's name it. We want to format the cells, so let's name it format cell. Enter, and the end sub will appear automatically if range a1 dot value is equal to 25, then you can go to next line by putting a space and then using the underscore. With this underscore, you are telling VBA that my command is continuing to next line. Enter. Instead of putting the command in one line, you can use underscore to split your command into two lines. Then range a1 dot, what we need to do, we need to change background color of the cell. We haven't used this menu that appears after putting a dot. Look at it again. When I put a dot, this menu appears. This is from VBA dictionary. So VBA is telling you that with range function you can use following more functions of VBA. What are these functions? You can activate the cell, You can do something with the address. If I go down, uh, allow edit, there is auto fit, there is calculate, there is borders, then clear formats, so many things, copy, count, creator. These all functions or settings I can do with range A1 function. Before that, we have looked at is the value and the select, range A1 dot select, range A1 dot value. But all these features are available to us. What I want to do is I want to change the background. It has to do something with the interior of the cell. So if I go to I can find the interior command, interior function. So I can press tab key after clicking once on the interior. I can press the tab key and the word interior will appear. So I want to do something with the interior dot, what I want to do, I want to change the color. So I have two options, color and color index. Let's use the color index. So once color index is clicked, I can use the tab key, but instead of tab key I can also double click on this and it will be accepted by Excel. So space and underscore, my command is still continuing to the third line, is equal to, but we don't want this 25. If we want to say if it is less than or is equal to 25, our first condition, then A1 interior color index should be equal to what? Should be equal to what? Let me copy this and go back to my Excel and see. I want it to be blue, which is D1. D1. Okay, Alt F11. I just, instead of A1, this should be D1. So what is our command right now? If range A1 dot value is less than or is equal to 10, then range A1 dot interior color index should be equal to whatever the color index of D1, which is blue. Okay, so let's run and see if this works. First, what we need to do is we need to change this to 5, and let's go back to our VBA editor and run it. I'm using the F8 key, F8, 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 and you can see that the background is blue now. So the command works. If A1 dot value is less than 10, then range A1 dot interior dot color index is equal to color index of D. So our next condition would be, the next condition is, we have 4 conditions, so let's put 4 times, copy paste 4 times. Now range A1, if range A1 dot value is less than 20, then it should be D2, and if it is less than or equal to 30, it should be D3, and if it is less than 90, I believe, yes, 90, then it should be D4. Okay, so if I run this now and let's put some number, say let's turn it white and say This is 160. And where is my VBA? Is it less than 10? No. 20? No. 30? No. And so, okay. Let's put it 85. F8, F8, F8. Is it less than 90? Yes. Turn it to red and done. Great. So what if I have 65? Let's run it. Developer, macros, run is still red. What's if it is 35? Let's run our macro again. Run again, red. 25. Let's run it again. Still red. But 25 should be yellow. Let's see how our macro is reading and running our commands. If I go through debug mode, is it equal, it is less than 30? Yes, it is turning yellow. Then why we are seeing red? Because 25 is also less than 90. So this changed the color index to red again. When we run our macro in one go, it instantly turns it to yellow and then to red, so that we can't see the difference. What we see is just the red final color. So our macro is running, doing exactly what we said it should do, but it is not doing what we wanted it to do. So how to do it? When we use these range, it's better to start with the highest number. So let's move our condition with the highest number at the top. First 90, then 30, and just cutting it and pasting it, and then 20, and then 10. So let's run it. First it is turning it to red, then yellow, and that's it. What we want to see is yellow. Yellow is appearing. So let's say 15 and run our macro. Run. It is sort of green, a bit different, but it is doing something. What about 8? Developer, macros, run, and it is blue. So this was the assignment from the last video. Let's move to next topics of today. Let's open our workbook. So let's discuss the concept. What is the concept of line label? Uh, like uh, back, like we do understand that every cell in Excel has a name. For example, if I am in cell B4, so B4 is the name of the cell, or the address of the cell. So the address of cell is the identifier which tells us where our cursor is. So we need to have something in VBA to identify where is our cursor. Or let's go to our editor. So here is our editor. You can see right now I am in line 4, column 6. This is column 3, but line 4. This is the identifier, but I cannot tell VBA to use this label. Back in BASIC and GW Basic, we used to have line numbers. So we could identify that this is the line number we are looking for. But in VBA, we have line labels as identifiers. How to use these identifiers is very simple. Type any type any variable, for example chair, and put a colon after that. This is the identifier. Whenever I want to identify this line, I would refer it to vchair. VBA will automatically understand that I am referring to this line. So just it is very simple to create a label, use a variable name, and use a colon after that. It will be identified as a label or line identifier. Now look at this code. In this code, sub and sub, macro 1, we understand these. Now this is an identifier v para 0 because this has a colon at the end. So this is a line identifier. After that we have range a1 dot select. We know what it is. If active cell dot value is equal to 1, then go to para 1. Go to is a new command. This pushes our command to go to a certain line. So far we have run our command VB program or subroutine or a procedure or macro in a sequential way. First line, second line, third line command, fourth line command, and like that. After that, with for and next loop, we pushed our command line to do a certain thing repeatedly for a certain number of times. So the cursor was coming down and then it was pushed upwards towards for by next command, and the loop was running. With goto command, we can select which line to execute and which commands to skip. So this is saying go to para 1 if active cell dot value is less than and greater than. When these signs are used together, this means not equal to. This is opposite of this. Active cell dot value is equal to 1 and active cell dot value is not equal to 1. If active cell dot value is not equal to 1, then go to para 2. This is our next label, para 1, which says range a1 dot value is equal to in b1 is equal to 1, and this is in inverted commas. We have already used uh, chair with inverted commas and without inverted commas, so you understand when it is in inverted commas it is treated as text, not some reference. Then go to para 3. This is para 2, range a1 dot value is equal to b1 is greater than 1. Then there is para 3 and nothing here and end. So in this macro there are two new things. One is the line label, which I have already discussed. Variable followed by a colon gives a label to a line, identifier to a line. And then the next is goto. Goto, as I said, pushes our cursor to that specific line. So in A1 there is 25. Let's delete this and put 19 over here, and then after putting it there, let's run our macro f8 range a1 select. My cursor is moved to a1. Is it value is 1? No. If active cell dot value is not equal to 1, true, then go to para 2. Para 2 is after 3 or 4 lines. My cursor will jump and go to para 2. If range a3 dot value, put b1 is greater than 1 into range a3 dot value. So A3, in A3 we have B1 is greater than 1 and the macro ends. Let's put 1 in A1 and let's try to run our macro again and see how it performs. F8, where is F8? Here is it, F8. A1, is it equal to 1? Yes, go to para 1. Jumped and went to para 1. A3 dot value is equal to whatever in the inverted commas. You can see in A3 now it is B1 is equal to 1. Again there is another go to command. Go to para 3. We are jumping the para to F8. You can't see my keyboard. What's F8? What happened? And it jumped to end sub and this is closed. Now you can see the macro. Okay, let's go back to this view. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now here is a better view. Yeah. This is a better view. I hope this is visible to everyone. So let's run it again. Let me fix this Windows issue first. This is range A1 dot select para 0 range A1, then go to para 1. This is para 1. Go to para 2. This is para 2. If I have 8 here and if I run my macro F8 F8 range A1 dot select, then go to para 1 is not equal to 1, then go to para 2, jumps to para 2, skips para 1, range A3 dot value is equal to B1 is greater than 1, boom, change and sub, and if I put 1 here and if I run my macro now, range A1 dot select is equal to 1, yes, go to para 1, jumps this line and go to line number 7. A3 dot value is equal to B1 is equal to 1, B1 is now is equal to 1, then go to para 3. So now we are jumping para number 2 and there is nothing in the para 3, so end sub, and this is how it works. So we have talked about labeling a line and using goto command to skip certain lines and jump to a specific command we want to execute. So here is an activity for you. This is for line label activity. You need to create a loop, but not with for and next. When we started learning for and next, we created a loop that changes value for 1 to 1000 of a single cell. So I want you to create a loop using the line label and goto command, and what it was happening in for and next, that the cursor was moving from bottom to top again and again till the value reaches to 1000 and then it was taking a quit. So like that you are going to create a manual loop with these commands: if, then, and this is the line label followed by a colon, go to range a1 dot value chair is equal to chair plus 1. The sequence of these commands is not correct, you need to correct it, and the references used in these commands are not correct, you have to use them. So use the hints, create a manual loop. See you in next video. Bye for now.